You wake up, and before you even open your eyes, you already feel it. That heaviness. That thick, suffocating blanket of exhaustion that wraps around every single part of you. You slept 7, maybe 8 hours, and somehow you feel worse than when you went to bed. You drag yourself to the edge of the mattress, and the simple act of standing up feels like climbing a mountain. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice whispers, "This is just how it is now." But that voice is lying to you. What if I told you that the thing making you feel this way has almost nothing to do with how much you sleep, how hard you work, or how stressed your life is? What if the real reason behind your relentless, bone-crushing fatigue is sitting quietly in your kitchen, or missing from it entirely, and your body has been screaming for a solution that nobody ever pointed you toward? That changes today. Because in the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly which superfoods have been scientifically shown to reverse the kind of fatigue that makes you feel like a completely different person than the one you used to be. Now, before we go deeper, I want to be upfront with you. There is a program linked in the description below this video. It goes far beyond what we can cover here, and honestly, most people who find it wish they had found it sooner. I am not going to pressure you. You can watch this video, take the information, and do absolutely nothing with it. That is entirely your choice. But if something inside of you recognizes that the way you have been living is not the way it has to be, that link will still be down there when you are ready. Now let us talk about what is really going on inside your body. Fatigue is not a personality trait. It is not laziness. It is not weakness. It is a physiological signal. Your cells are either not producing enough energy, not getting the nutrients they need, or they are drowning in inflammation that is slowly strangling your vitality from the inside out. And the most devastating part is that millions of people go to doctors, get told their blood work looks fine, and walk away feeling gaslit by the very system that was supposed to help them. You are not imagining it. The exhaustion is real. The brain fog is real. The feeling of watching your life happen through a foggy window while everyone around you seems to have energy you cannot even remember having, that is real too. And here is where it gets almost cruel. Most people dealing with this kind of chronic fatigue respond by drinking more coffee, pushing through, white-knuckling their way through the day, and then collapsing at night only to repeat the whole cycle again tomorrow. The caffeine spikes your cortisol, burns out your adrenal glands even faster, and by the time evening comes, your body does not even know how to rest properly anymore. You are trapped in a loop that most people never escape because nobody ever showed them the door out. That door is nutrition. Specific, targeted, deeply powerful nutrition. Let us start with something your body is almost certainly depleted in. Magnesium. This mineral is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, and fatigue is one of the very first signs that you do not have enough of it. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest sources on the planet. A single handful contains more magnesium than most people get in an entire day. When your magnesium levels are where they should be, your muscles stop aching, your sleep deepens, your nervous system stops firing like a car alarm at 3 in the morning, and your energy levels begin to stabilize in a way that coffee never could replicate. People who restore their magnesium levels often describe it as feeling like someone finally turned the volume down on life. The constant edge disappears. The fatigue begins to lift in ways that surprise even them. Now here's a pattern most people never connect. Chronic fatigue is deeply tied to inflammation. When your body is inflamed at a cellular level, your mitochondria, which are the tiny energy factories inside every cell you have, begin to malfunction. They stop producing energy efficiently. They start producing what scientists call oxidative stress instead. And you feel that oxidative stress as exhaustion, mental fog, joint pain, and a relentless inability to recover from anything. This is where wild-caught salmon enters the conversation in a way you will not forget. The omega-3 fatty acids found in wild salmon are not just heart-healthy talking points. They are direct anti-inflammatory agents that penetrate the cell membrane and begin restoring mitochondrial function. Studies have shown measurable improvements in fatigue levels, mood, and cognitive clarity in people who increase their omega-3 intake consistently. We are talking about the same people who were told their blood work was fine. The same people who thought this was just who they were now. Within weeks of giving their cells what they were starving for, something shifted. Their minds cleared. Their afternoons stopped disappearing into a fog. They started showing up for their own lives again. Let us shift gears completely, because this next one surprises almost everyone. Beets. Not glamorous, not exotic, just beets. But inside that humble root vegetable is something called dietary nitrate, which your body converts into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is one of the most powerful vasodilators your body can produce. It opens your blood vessels wider, allows oxygen to travel more efficiently to your muscles and your brain, and quite literally reduces the energetic cost of physical activity. Athletes have known this for years. Research has shown that beet consumption can improve endurance, reduce perceived exertion, and dramatically decrease fatigue after exercise. But here is what the athletes do not talk about as much. Those same effects happen in everyday life: climbing stairs, carrying groceries, sitting at a desk and trying to focus for more than 20 minutes. When your blood is moving oxygen the way it should, everything becomes slightly noticeably easier. And easy does not sound dramatic until you have spent months making everything hard. Spinach deserves its moment here too, and not because of cartoon character mythology. Spinach is loaded with iron, folate, and B vitamins, all of which are direct contributors to how your red blood cells are made and how efficiently they carry oxygen. Iron deficiency is one of the most commonly overlooked causes of fatigue in the world, and even a mild depletion, levels that are technically within range on a blood test, can leave you feeling absolutely wrecked. Adding spinach regularly and consistently creates a slow, steady repair of the system. It is not overnight. It is not a magic trick. But within a few weeks, people notice that they are waking up slightly earlier than their alarm without meaning to, that they are making it through the afternoon without that desperate crash, that they are going to bed actually tired, not wired and exhausted at the same time like they used to be. Now here is something that most people have never heard framed this way. Your gut and your fatigue are having a conversation you are not included in. 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. And when your gut microbiome is unbalanced, which it almost certainly is if your diet has been inconsistent, if you have ever taken antibiotics, if you live with chronic stress, your immune system runs in a constant low-grade state of activation. That constant activation costs energy, enormous amounts of energy. Energy that never makes it to your muscles, your brain, or your daily life. Fermented foods like kimchi, kefir, and sauerkraut introduce living probiotic bacteria that begin rebalancing that microbiome. As the gut heals, inflammation drops. As inflammation drops, energy returns. This is not theoretical, this is biology. And the people who make this shift report one of the most unexpected experiences of their lives. They describe waking up and not immediately dreading the day. They describe moments of actual motivation returning, not forced discipline, but genuine desire to do things they had stopped caring about. That is not a coincidence. That is their body finally operating the way it was designed to. Ashwagandha root is next, and this one carries centuries of use behind it. Classified as an adaptogen, it helps your body regulate the stress hormone cortisol. When cortisol is chronically elevated, which happens in every person living under sustained pressure, your body is essentially running on emergency power all the time. The reserves drain, the crash comes harder, the recovery takes longer. Studies involving ashwagandha supplementation have shown statistically significant reductions in fatigue scores, improvements in mental clarity, and measurable drops in cortisol levels. This is not folklore, this is peer-reviewed research. And the subjective experience people describe mirrors the data exactly. A steadiness, a calm energy that does not spike and crash. A feeling of being able to handle the same amount of life with noticeably less effort. Dark leafy greens alongside berries, particularly blueberries, form a combination that researchers have started calling a cognitive fatigue intervention. The flavonoids in blueberries cross the blood-brain barrier, reduce neuroinflammation, and improve communication between brain cells. Mental fatigue is often what people mean when they say they are exhausted, and blueberries address that fatigue at a level most people never think to look. Memory sharpens, reaction time improves, that fog that made you read the same sentence 4 times before it stuck, it begins to thin. Walnuts are the final piece of this particular conversation, and they close the loop beautifully. They are one of the only plant sources of DHA, the omega-3, that builds the actual physical structure of your brain cells. When your brain cells are properly structured, they communicate faster, they respond better to signals, and they recover more quickly from the cognitive load of a demanding day. People who eat walnuts consistently alongside the other foods we have covered describe reaching the end of a full day and still having something left. Still being present for the people they love. Still feeling like a person, not just a function. Here is the thing I want you to sit with for a moment. Every single person who has transformed their energy using these principles started from exactly the same place you might be in right now. Skeptical, exhausted, quietly desperate, not sure if anything would actually work for them specifically. And the ones who moved forward did not do it because they were certain. They did it because the cost of staying exactly as they were felt too high. The program in the description below this video is built for that exact person. The one who has done cycling through the same exhaustion, the same foggy mornings, the same feeling of falling behind in their own life. If that is not you, close this video and move on. But if something in what you just heard felt like someone finally said out loud what you have been living in silence, that link is there. It is not going to be there forever. And the version of yourself that wakes up with energy is not a fantasy. It is a decision you make right now.